powerful program. We're going to be talking about Dr. King and what he means to us. And the title is going to be, Where Do We Go From Here? Is people, as family, and as a community. We got some gentlemen that's going to tell you all about their program that they've been doing for years. It's a very powerful program. But right now, we're going to be blessed with some musical talents. Let's go over to the musical talents. Ladies, please.
Master told me one day I'd find peace in every way, but in search for the clue, wrong things I was bound to do. Keep my head to the sky, for the clouds will tell me why. As I grew and with strength, Master kept me as I repent. And he said, keep my head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Give me the will to be free, purpose to live is reality. I found myself never alone. Changes come to make me strong. So step right up and be a man. You need faith to understand. Now I'm saying for you to hear, keep your head in faith's atmosphere. And I say, keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky, and you know why. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky, and you know why. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. He gave me the will to be free. Purpose is to live in reality. I found myself never alone. Chances came to make me strong. So I had to step right up and be a woman. I need faith to understand. So I'm saying for you to hear, keep your faith and head in faith's atmosphere. I say, keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky, and I know why. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky. Last time, keep your head to the sky.
Yeah.
Let's get a clap, please. Let's get a clap, 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 clap. I'm gonna go over here and talk to these people for a minute. To the sky. Yes, yes, yes. And who am I speaking with right now?
My name is Arietta Ward.
Ms. Ward.
My name is Sarah Steele.
Sarah Steele. Back on the keyboard.
Danny Osborne.
Danny Osborne. Give your hand up for Sarah Ward, Danny Osborne. Take us into a break, please. Can you take us into a break? We're gonna come back, people. We're gonna come back with Ken Berry, Mr. Donnie Smith, Donnie O'Dear. Come on back.
Keep your head to the sky. Sing about Martin. Sing about Martin. Sing about caring. Sing about caring. Sing
Keep your
about
head to the sky. We really appreciate that about Miss Ward, Mr. Steele, and Danny Osborne. Let's give him another one. Right now joining me is Mr. Ken Berry, Mr. Bobby Smith, and Donnie O'Dear. And I'm gonna let these gentlemen explain about what they do and how long they've been involved with this powerful program, Keeping the Dream Alive. Mr. Ken, thank you. Welcome.
I don't know if there's enough time in the show to talk about how long I've been involved.
I know it, yes.
But listening to that song just a moment
Yes.
ago, that was sung by Arietta and Sarah. It brought back so many memories of Janice Scroggins, who
Yes.
was a tremendous strength and contributor to this program. 33 years we're celebrating this year of this program, but we actually started in 1978. But with all the people that we've been blessed with to be able to work with, for example, LaRonda Steele, when she first came to Portland, I never will forget, Sarah's mom got a call from her auntie.
Yes,
Said,
yes.
Ken Berry, we have someone we'd like you to be on our, to introduce you to be part of the MLK program. And that's the first person I ever talked to on the phone and asked her to audition. And she sung like no one I've ever heard before on the phone. So
Yeah.
I feel very special and blessed to be able to see the seeds that Janice and also LaRonda has planted, in their daughters, and as they move forward. Not only just the daughters, but the whole entire family. But I've been part of this program since 1978 with Michael Grimes, who's in his absence today, who's president of World Arts Foundation Incorporated. It started as kind of a dream. We wanted to do something to contribute more to the arts than what was actually out there. We're educators, by trade, over 50 years of educational contributions. But fortunately, we wanted to use the arts as a vehicle by which to promote and preserve African American contributions in American culture. So we started this back in 1978, and this year we're proud.
Let's get a crack for it. That's a long time. Absolutely, that's a long time. Appreciate it.
Well, it's been a blessing, and
Yes.
we use a motto that Donnie and we all say is that the fact that we not only stand on the shoulders of those who have passed on before us, but we're standing on the shoulders of those who are among us, Sarah and Arietta and all the rest of the folks. We're trying to pass this thing on and realize that we have a responsibility, and that's why our theme is where do we go from here? As an individual, as a family, as a community, where do we go from here? Because it is important that we all take responsibility, civic responsibility, for us to preserve our history and then also pass it on to our young people. So I've been fortunate enough, they call me executive producer and a lot of other names too.
Okay,
but
it's all good.
But it's been treasured because the area and all of them listen to me every year. I say, well, I'm not going to do it no more. Too much work. I'm passing it on. But they put up with me, and I'm thankful to them because the fact that they're the motivating strength besides our families that give us support, because we give up our weekends, we give up our holidays in order to do this program. And we're fortunate to even add this week to Mr. Bobby. But before I do that, I got to talk about Danny Osborne.
Yes.
We have 3 Jeffersonians in the house.
Okay.
We have 4
Demos!
We have Sunshine Dixon's going to be joining us shortly.
Yes.
Donnie Adair, Arietta, and also Danny Osborne, who also is another powerful. Sarah, who I should mention too.
Yes.
Sarah is the president of the Black Student Union
let's get praise on that.
We're very proud of her.
Absolutely.
Very proud of her.
Yes.
But Danny Osborne takes us all the way back to, at least, I won't tell my age, but let's say a few decades where he has consistently traveled the world. He has consistently provided training for folks. Ada Jackson, just name a few of the folks. And he continues to motivate folks in the community. So we're very thankful and honored that Danny has joined us tonight too. So,
all right, absolutely. Yes.
Warren has joined us, and thanks to Bobby's efforts, he's our special projects coordinator for World Arts Foundation, Inc.
Can we hold up just a second? I can cut it out.
Okay. Excited.
It's okay. That's all right.
I get
Excitement is good.
I start
Excitement is
throwing
good.
stuff out, man. Watch out, man. You better stay, watch your seat, man.
We all good.
But we're fortunate
Yes.
this year to have Bobby Smith join us
Okay.
with a special project. I met him by way of my brother Kevin Berry.
Okay. How's Kevin doing?
He's doing great.
Excellent,
You know,
excellent.
yeah,
Goodbye,
he's the
guys.
darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Yeah,
once you turn us on.
We appreciate what he's doing. We appreciate what he's doing in the community.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
a motivating source as well too. So we're
Yes.
very grateful for Kevin. But Kevin came up to me one day and said, "Hey, you need to meet this guy by the name of Bobby." I said, "Bobby, I don't need to meet nobody for what?"
Right.
So he said, "Well, this guy knows more about you than you know about yourself." So I said, "Well, let me. Who is this Bobby?" So
Right.
he took me down to X-Ray and met him. And the first thing he did, Daddy, he gave us an album of our choir back in 1967, 68. And that album was a treasure piece with the senior choir and Jester Harrison, who had come to direct that piece. And what a powerful
Absolutely.
piece that I'm thankful for him. And we've been friends ever since.
Okay.
He hasn't thrown me out to the bus yet. And he's working on a
Yes.
project, and thank goodness for him. He's written a couple of grants, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get the second one. We just got the first one confirmed last
Congratulations,
week. And he
yes.
can talk about his particular project because he's a jewel, he's a gold mine in the community, and we're very fortunate to have him as our special projects coordinator. Bobby?
Let's welcome Bobby Smith in. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just honored to be here. Everyone in this room, it's such an honor to be a part of your program and
Yes.
also to be working on this project. When I met Ken, I thought, there's something special about this community. There's something special about Ken's work, working at the intersection of arts and education for as long as he has and giving back to the community. I, by nature, working at X-Ray FM, I'm a radio host and
Okay.
someone who is passionate about soul music. I've been collecting records for many years, and I thought, what better way for me to get involved with the community than to try to document some of the local soul musicians, funk musicians, jazz, gospel, and beyond. And the more and more we began to interview elders in the community,
Yes.
we began to learn just about so many wonderful movements, a lot of different artists that haven't been necessarily recognized outside of the region. And so the Albina Music Trust was born out of this project to document and bring to life the music of Albina, specifically in the 1960s through 1980s. And if you come this year to the World Arts Martin Luther King Jr. tribute program, you'll be able to see in the Vendor Village some of this work that we've been doing, documenting through archival photography, as well as music itself and beyond. We've been interviewing many folks and just learning so much. We would love to share it.
Well, we can hear your passion, and we really appreciate you taking that gift, turning that passion into reality. How did you get started?
Well, I went to school for journalism,
Okay.
and I guess the seed was born there. I got started focusing on the music in this particular area through writing, just as an independent journalist, working with outlets such as the Willamette Week or Wax Poetics magazine. Basically, these are platforms where I thought, here could be a way for people outside of Portland to be able to hear about groups like Pleasure, or like Shock, or like Black Velvet, or like Janice Scroggins, the Esquires, like Thera Memory, the Gangsters. So many different artists who, in many ways, made an impact on people's lives here. But the longer time goes by, the sands of time shift in a way that we may not hear these names if we don't speak them continually.
Absolutely, absolutely. And joining us also is Mr. Donnie O'Dear.
Adair, yeah.
Adair. How you doing, sir?
How are you, Tony? Thank
I'm
you
too
for
blessed
having
to
us,
stress,
man.
and it's a gracious pleasure for you all to be here. And I went to my southern, y'all. I said it correctly, y'all.
Well, I've been associated with Ken for half a century.
Half
you
a
know,
century, yeah.
yeah.
So you know about the y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but he asked me to
Okay.
MC the King tribute
Yes.
33 years ago, and so I've been
Oh,
a part
my
of
goodness.
it all 33 years.
Let's give him a clap. 33 years? Absolutely.
And thanks to he and support of Michael Grice, the president of World Arts Foundation, we're still doing it, but we're beginning to bring the younger people in. I work
Right.
as a producer
Okay.
for Ken now, and I still announce some acts, but my son Donnell Adair is the actually MC now of the program.
Okay.
After 31 years, he took over.
Shout out to
So,
him,
yeah.
stepping up.
He could not
Absolutely.
be here today, so I'm really
Yeah.
standing in his shoes today.
Okay.
But this program is so wonderful. I just have all kinds of good flashbacks about
Okay.
the artists and groups and choirs and dancers that have participated over the years. We bring in a lot of our school groups from the community, whether it's dancers from Woodlawn, the Jefferson dancers, the various choirs, and then we have some of the community choirs come from as far as Seattle.
Okay.
So we've had professionals combined with amateurs, if you will, and it's just been a great experience. Not only that, we bring in to bring greetings and give us some kind of encouragement and a greeting from the public sector. We've had our senators and the governor, pardon me, and our state representatives like Lou Frederick will be there, Red Smith will be there, a number of people.
Okay, let's plug in some dates, right? We're talking about the MLK.
It'll be on the holiday,
Okay,
January 15th,
okay.
at Highland Christian Center, 7600 Northeast Gleason, from 11 a.m. until 7.
An
Okay.
educational moment is that
Okay.
the fact that the Martin Luther King Commission, when it was put together back in 1985, commissioned that the third Monday of every January would be designated as the Martin Luther King birthday. This year just happens to come on his birthday on the 15th.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Now,
thanks to Open Signal here, we're grateful to them because of the fact that we're not only broadcasting on their channels, but also on several other cable channels. We'll also be broadcasting on YouTube, Facebook, and our as well. So we're very fortunate. We reach
And on local radio
Yes.
and on the
Okay.
internet, KBOO.
Right.
So we can really cast a wide net to share this program throughout the world.
even though you can't make it out, we want you to make it out though. But if you can't make it out, you can tune into YouTube. You can tune into the radio station. Which one is that? KBMS?
KBOO.
KBOO.
90.7 FM.
90. Go ahead. I know you know that.
90.7 FM. Spent 2 years there. Yes, sir.
So you can get there. You can hear it that way. Support this because this is a beautiful, beautiful project. And it's been going on for years. And these gentlemen and ladies putting their time and effort in to making it happen. And we always want to inform the community. You know, I was going to say educated, but I was doing an interview and a person said, you can't educate me. So now I say to inform. So we're going to inform the community, and that's what they're going to do. So, gentlemen, it's a pleasure. Mr. Ken Berry, Mr. Bobby Smith, and Donnie O'Dear. Let's give these gentlemen a hand.
Sing about Martin. Sing about Martin. Sing about love.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Joining me is Miss Sunshine Dixon and Miss Ward. Okay, she was one of the vocals that's blessed us with Keep Your Head to the Sky. And also joining us is Mr. Ken Berry. So, ladies, we're just going to start with you, Miss Sunshine.
Victory Village coordinator. I've been
Okay.
part of the program for roughly 8 to 9 years,
Okay.
and happen to be Ken's cousin.
Oh, okay, okay.
I am a Jefferson Democrat, which happens to be rule the
I know y'all throwing the Democrats out here today.
Yeah.
We'll come out here, some
Yeah.
generals come up out of here. Some.
So I'm excited for providing a platform for both education and entrepreneurial elevation in terms
Yes.
of local businesses and supporting both youth all the way to seniors, folks who have a vision and a dream and want to share their message with the world. So we have tables that we provide for folks to come and share their story, share their products. And so I'm really looking forward to another successful year of that.
Let's give her a clap. She's an 5 years, and plus you got the business piece of it. And we know that we need some cheddar, dinero, whichever
Yeah.
title you want to choose.
Right.
We need that to build our community. So we really appreciate it. Now, how do they get in touch with you?
So I just give out a number that's posted.
Put it on out.
Well, you're welcome to contact us through the World Arts Foundation
Yes.
website. And as far as being a vendor, there's a number available that's 503-995-8803. So just feel free to give us a call and let us know that you're wanting to join us as a vendor. If you want to bring the program into your organization, feel free to call us about beyond the January, because this story is deeper than that, longer. The story has a long history, and we definitely want to make that available to you as well.
Absolutely. Let's give another clap on that, 'cause we really appreciate what she's doing. Miss Ward, how you doing?
I'm well.
Look at that beautiful voice. Where did that voice come from?
I inherited from my mother.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say Ken.
Well,
Because he got a voice on him too.
he does.
Yeah.
Janice Scroggs is the one that produced her.
Oh,
That's
Miss
right.
Scroggs.
That's
Let's give a
right.
clap to Miss
Yes,
Scroggs
yes,
for
yes.
real out there.
My
Yes.
mother.
Okay.
Yes. So it's part of my birthright,
Yes.
and so that's how I inherited my voice. It took a minute for it to expand to the masses, but it's there now.
Now, would you be performing at the program as well?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, with your talent, are you sharing with some young people as well? Or are you grooming some young people to step up, or what are you doing with that talent? Because I know it's there.
Yes. It's like I said, it's part of my birthright. So I perform around town, but I also have younger musicians. Some that are they were mentored by the wonderful late Sarah John Memory,
Okay.
and some
yes,
of them.
come on,
Right. And
Yes, absolutely.
so when I perform, I usually call them and say, "Hey, come on," because a long time ago there were a lot of musicians that were underage. They had to be in the kitchen and whatnot, but they were allowed to perform, and Sarah's one of them as well. We make them get up and sing because it's something that's passed down, and that's how I learned. Because I was under the piano, I was with Mr. Berry.
I knew it was coming back to Ken.
Yes, with the choir, with Time Sound and the Creative Jazz Orchestra and all of those things. I grew up watching that, especially in the Jeffersonian music room.
Jefferson.
Yeah, here they go.
Right. But it's
Yes.
something that has been passed down, and so that's what I do. Any opportunity I have to share, I do. And this is a great honor to be a part of this, part of the organization, as well as being part of the event, because the young people can see us and they can get on stage with us to perform and learn and absorb.
I like
something
go
you
ahead.
said earlier about
Yes.
teamwork making the dream work.
Absolutely,
What
absolutely.
brings me so much joy is to seeing how Sarah and Arietta and even Sunshine, watching them grow from this, from that to this, where they, sometimes you wonder if people are really listening and or paying any attention. I tell you what, it brings me so much joy to see and to hear what they're doing. Arietta, for example, is a mastermind in regards to this month and last month, and what she does so much in producing right now is amazing. I mean, the kind of things that she's doing. I'm so proud of Sunshine, because she took this on not as a small event. She took it on very seriously, and she treats it like a business, because it is very important that we treat and honor our folks that are working with us. Michael has this analogy that when we first started doing the program, because it's taken its own shape, like when it first started in 1985, we used to try to satisfy the audience, do everything we could to satisfy the audience. Then we said, wait a minute, we need to do some things to satisfy or make the participants feel useful, competent, and belonging. Then all of a sudden it came to our minds, no, we got to make sure the people that we're working with, the volunteers, that they feel a part of. Because when they're treated right, guess what? They're going to treat everyone else right. And so this is what we tried to do. And I thank Janice every day, because I think about her every day. She would always listen to me, because I would go into a tangent and say, I don't know where we're going to go. How will we be able to do this? Her comments would be, Mr. Berry, calm down. Take a chill pill. Okay, and I can hear her saying that right now.
Arietta's job.
So Arietta's saying it, and whenever I'm around her, she reminds me so much of her mother from the standpoint. She would always calm me down, because that calming spirit. Okay, and her thing was music, because music is power. Music is a religion. Music is science. Music is mathematics. Danny knows all about this. And that's one of the things that still sticks with me every once in a while. I get, on Facebook, you get these little flashbacks, right? 1 year from now, from now, ago, 2 years, 5, 6, 7, 8, and Janice pops up 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
And I had to stop what I'm doing and just go to it, and it really does reinforce and see where we have come from and where we also need to go. So our motto is teamwork.
Yes.
Makes the dream work.
It does.
This is a collaboration of so many different people. We have over 58, 59 acts in the program itself that we're going to be putting in this 7-hour period. We have over 250 volunteers that are working with us. We have probably anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 participants in the program itself. And speaking of participants,
beautiful.
I would like to mention the fact that one of the things we want to do is there are a lot of unsung heroes that we want to make sure that we recognize. So we do a program called Lifetime Achievement Awards segment. Thanks to Val Peterson and also to Heather Baker. They coordinated this piece. Bobby Palate has worked with us, and also James Smith. We produced 13 video
Chris, yeah.
inserts that we're going to be using
My
to
goodness.
celebrate those unsung heroes from our local area. Two of those individuals will be posthumously, honored, which would be Thera John Memory. Thank goodness to John, who's going to be doing a trumpet piece along with Renee Mitchell, and then Thera's going to speak for himself, and then we're going to close with Michael Chappie Grice bringing that together. The other piece that we're going to be doing posthumously is Dr. Ethel Simon McWilliams, thanks to Joyce Harris, who is going to help coordinate that piece. Her family's flying here to participate from Washington, D.C., and also from Seattle, Washington. She was a person that contributed so much in this area, in the Portland, and also the statewide, in the area of education, particularly as it impacts African Americans in the state. So we're honored to be able to do these things. It's more, again, than just showcasing arts. It's an educational program where we bring everyone together to really showcase and also educate, like Sunshine was saying, the whole community about where we came from, knowing where we are, like Martin Luther King said, if we don't know where we came from, know where we are, we don't know where we are going. So,
Let's give a clap. Let's give a clap on it. Yes, Ms. Sunshine.
You know, people often underestimate social capital and the real true value it has, but it's not always what you know, it's who you know.
Yes.
And by creating an atmosphere where folks can gather 6 hours,
Yes.
with folks and multi-generational, interfaith, folks from different specialties and business industries, that allows folks to build social capital. It gives a high schooler the chance to meet with someone who's retiring or who's been there. It opens up these wonderful opportunities for internships and new job opportunities. And so we're grateful to be just that intersection that we talk about. And so we really like being in that place. We love that folks are equally invested in coming, multi-generational. We have grandchildren, there are grandparents, the parents are there. So it's wonderful just to see, especially last year when there was snow, the number of people who, risked the ice and the snow to come out, join with us and spend time together. So there's just this investment over the last 33 years of doing this program, just to see that in our community and to see people like Jonelle, who've gone from, being one of your mentees, right? And then all the way out to, he's come and made speeches for folks in the past. So, I mean, just to grow through this process and to see that handoff really taking its place.
He's
so
working with a representative for Jeff Merkley right now. And also we have people like Lovey Jackson, who was one of our producers and went and got her doctorate. She's now in Philadelphia. Raina Beavers, another one of our producers.
Raina's mother is a volunteer, yes.
Renee Ward, just to name a few people. Yes.
But what I'd like to say on behalf of Straight Talk is that whenever and whatever you need from Straight Talk, studio cameras, whatever you need, beautiful crew, they'll come and help out. And we just keep this showcase, keep this out in front of the people. Not just January, but we can follow it up. The business aspect of it, the young people that you're working with as far as singing. We have open mic every month. This platform is for them. We need to showcase our young people. We hear about the bad all the time. It's time for us to showcase the people. And us that's been blessed with platforms like this is what we need to do. So we appreciate it. And whatever we can do, you let us know. Let's close the date and just play some people just
Okay, I just want to say something on behalf of Michael Chappie Grice. I'll be remiss if I didn't say anything. President. He has his advocacy is mentorships, and thanks to his Urban Wings program, he's doing some magnificent things in training young people, middle school kids and high school kids on how to fly planes.
Oh, that's
so if you're interested in that, check our website out.
Absolutely.
And Michael Grice will be the person to check with on that.
Absolutely.
But again, our 33rd annual MLK program tribute will take place on Monday, January 15th from 11 until 6 o'clock. It'll be aired right here on Open Signal, along with other cable channels, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and there's a whole assortment of different other entities that will be actually shared with. It'll be on Twitter as well, and all that stuff, so available. So
That social media is powerful.
Yes.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
powerful.
we're grateful to Sheila
Yeah.
Seawright, who's helping us out, and also James Wright, and helping us out with that social media, because I'm still learning.
You're not by yourself.
And the
Mr.
Open
Ken, go
Signal is
ahead,
a
Miss-
good partner as well.
Yes.
Open Signal and
Yes.
Cable,
Yes.
just wonderful partners, longtime partners with us.
Okay. Mr. Ken Berry, Miss Ward, Miss Sunshine.
Sing about me.
Our pleasure.
Okay. We have George Charles, thank you, of Golden Barbecue. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm missing some crew people and some audience because they're out there eating on that barbecue right now. But thank you, sir, for being here. Okay?
Thank you for having me.
I had the opportunity to come over, and I was so impressed with the fact that your business is a family-owned business. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, my wife and I started it about 14 years ago. We used to cook at home on 4th of July, any holiday, and everybody come over to eat. They would, man, y'all could sell this, and we thought about it, and we couldn't find no real good barbecue up here. We from Texas and grew up in
Dallas?
Houston.
Houston, that's
yeah.
okay. Texas in the house.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying Texas in the house because they've been talking about demos all night. Texas in the house. Go ahead.
But anyway, we thought about it and we prayed about it, and
Yes.
we started out in a food court. We had a little food court for
Okay.
4 years, and then we moved into a Shell station for 3 years, and we've been in our location now for going on 8 years. We have a full sit-down restaurant, and it's going pretty good. And
I'm gonna give you a clap praise on that. Right. He said a full sit down.
Yeah,
there ain't no drive-through no more. You
no,
can sit down.
no,
Go ahead.
no.
That's progress.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And it's like you say, it's family owned. My
Yes.
wife, my daughters, grandkids, sons, we all sister-in-laws, nieces, nephews, all work there, and it's a struggle sometimes working with family, but it's worth it. You get
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
teach them work ethics.
Yes.
how to be on time and do stuff.
Yes.
in a professional way. So
Right.
it's
It's just powerful because in today's society or time, we don't see a lot of family-owned businesses. So the fact that you're doing, that's why I said I was so impressed.
Yeah.
That your family there was waiters there that handling the money.
Oh,
and you just sitting down there chatting with us. But to have in this day and age, a family-owned business, particularly in Oregon with the demographics, and in Washington, it's a clap praise due to you.
Thank you.
And Miss Sunshine earlier was talking about the money piece of it.
Yeah.
And what I get out of this, other than the fact it's the family, you're passing on generational wealth. Yes. Yes.
And we do a lot of stuff in the community. I don't know if.
But let's talk about what you do, because I know you do something with the churches, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
we do
yes,
with
sir.
churches, schools.
Yes.
A lot of catering, but we support the military. We support the police and the local police, and we just want to share the love of Christ, because without him, we wouldn't be where we are. We moved in that restaurant. We didn't have no money.
Yeah, come on, talk to us. Yes.
To do anything, and a guy that was pastor at a church we was going to, he said, "Brother, my family, we building this building, and we want to put a restaurant in it," and they bought everything to go in that restaurant. Ain't no way we'd have done it. And just with friends and family, and they was talking about the dream.
Yes.
That was a dream I always, coming. And when we found out it wasn't no good barbecue here,
You said good barbecue.
We
You put a twist to that.
That was
Go
our
ahead.
dream to
Yes.
to open up a restaurant,
Yes.
and through prayer and friends, it happened. And I just encourage anybody that have a dream. I don't care what it is. If it's something that you want to do, with God, all things are possible. And so don't, stick to it.
Absolutely. Now I got to ask you a question. How did you go from boxing to barbecue?
That boxing was
You know,
just.
I know you should throw the box a little bit.
That was just a childhood dream. You know, when you're a
Yes.
kid, you wanna. But really, when I was a kid, my mom on Friday in Houston, they had Friday night fights.
Yes.
And when I was, I don't know, 6 or 7, I used to watch that. And yeah, I hate to say this, but coming from a single parent home, I seen my mom abused a lot, you know,
Yes.
by people. And
Okay.
that boxing, I thought if I could become a boxer, I could protect her.
Right.
And, you know, and that's where the boxing came from. But
Right.
when you're young and dumb, George Foreman said you got to be insane to be a boxer, and I believe that. I was
Right.
insane because, you know, you trying to knock somebody's head off and
Right.
they trying to knock your head off, man. That's nuts.
So you're knocking their heads out with that sauce, that barbecue sauce now.
Trying to do it with love, man.
There's some love, yes. If I'm understanding, your son-in-law is a police officer.
My
over there?
son is.
Your son. So,
Yeah.
you know, we especially want to give a special kudos to him because he's over there working on some difficult situations. Black men and women. We got a new police chief, Danielle Outlaw. New black police chief here. So him being over there under being an officer in this society today, especially black officers. You know, so we want to clap for him. We tell him to really keep up with what we got support here. We love him. We don't know him, but we still love him. And we're just glad that he's there. And if he ever wants to come on, talk about it, open it up to him. Now, you're over in Washington. Yes, yes.
And we do catering. So if anybody out there needs some catering for parties, we're just doing a big one Thursday for the VA hospital over there in
that's beautiful.
Vancouver. So
Now, Mr. George, right?
Charles.
Charles. I don't know why I want to call you George, but Charles, I don't want you to get in trouble when you go home, so you got to mention your wife's name.
Oh, Goldie. Goldie is she's the boss. She's a genius behind this. All the recipes is hers, and I mean, she got a golden taste buds. She can make anything taste good. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
you all right, man.
she's the king.
Yes. So we appreciate Goldie's Barbecue coming on, sharing the family-owned business. And what I would like you to do is, if you can, sometime with the family to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Because I want the community to see a family doing a business and how important it is.
Yeah.
And the benefits. They can tell some of their stories, working under grandpa, dad, you know. But we appreciate you do that.
Well, thank you very much.
Sing about peace. Sing about peace. All around the world. All around the world. Sing about Martin.
I just want to put this up one time. This is the 33rd anniversary. Where do we go from here? Okay? Get a close shot of that. People, please go out and join. If you can't catch it in person, social media is the way. You got YouTube, Open Signal, KBOO. You can be dialed in. Right now, we're going to go over to some special entertainment. We got Mr. Osborne, Miss Steele, and Miss Warren. Please.
Y'all glad?
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. Study won't no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. 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 I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
At this time, I have the honor to present to you the moral leader of our nation. I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. And so we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation. So we've come to cash this check A check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and the security of justice. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summit of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until that is an invigorating autumn of freedom and equality. 1963 is not an end, but a beginning. Those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returns to business as usual. There will be neither rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship rights. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. But that is something that I must say to my people who stand on the warm threshold which leads into the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high plane of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative protests to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to a distrust of all white people. For many of our white brothers, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. And they have come to realize that their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. We cannot walk alone. And as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality. We can never be satisfied as long as our bodies, heavy with the fatigue of travel, cannot gain lodging in the motels of the highways and the hotels of the cities. We cannot be satisfied As long as the Negro's basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one, we can never be satisfied. As long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating for whites only. We cannot be satisfied as long as a Negro in Mississippi cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by the storms of persecution and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You have been the veterans of creative suffering. Continue to work with the faith that unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities. Knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friend, so even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, and when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, "Free at last, thank God Almighty,